Well, good morning and welcome to Mindful Movement with AARP Alabama. I am your host, Margie Curry. And again, this morning we are with our very experienced yoga instructor, Becca Impello. We want to remind you that AARP empowers people to choose how they live as they age. AARP is a nonpartisan 501c4 organization that has over 420,000 members in Alabama. AARP's role is to advocate for those 50 plus and their families. AARP is committed to offering opportunities for you to stay engaged from your home. The Mindful Movement series provides an opportunity to keep you moving in the safety of your own home. Becca!
Good morning, Margie.
Good morning, Becca. How are you this rainy morning?
Well, it is a rainy morning, isn't it? But
It is. Well, we needed the rain, so we're glad to have the rain. What do you have in store for us today?
Well, Margie, today I thought we would do, an all-around practice. That's what I tend to call a session where I really just try to get a little bit of everything, kind of take care of the whole body, do a little bit of balance, do a little bit of, energizing, do a little bit of relaxing. So we're going to do a good all-around practice, and there'll hopefully be something in here for everybody and for every part of the body.
Oh, sounds great. Everybody, please remember that before you begin any exercise program, that you should consult with your physician to be sure it is safe to participate. Okay, Becca, take it away.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone, for our Mindful Movement series. We're really proud of this program and how much it assists and helps people both connect to things outside of their home and connect to themselves in their body. So we're always pleased to have you join us. I'm experiencing just a little bit of slowness every now and then on my feed. I don't know if that's my Wi-Fi or something else, and I don't know if the weather's impacting it, but we hope that you will stick with us and forgive us for any slight glitches that our technology may serve us up today. All right, so like Margie said, I've got lots of years of experience teaching yoga. I like to be able to teach to a wide spectrum of abilities in terms of physical capacity. That's why we do our chair-based program for yoga. That means that, almost everybody can do at least some aspects of the practice, because really all you have to be able to do is sit in your chair. Now, I'm going to give you options to do things that are maybe a little more challenging, that get you out of your chair, that maybe even challenge you to let go of holding on to the chair. But this sturdy chair, like one of your kitchen chairs or your dining chairs, or if you have a folding chair, is our main prop. It kind of serves as a nice platform that we can use to move our bodies. All right, so let's start in our chair, sitting tall with those feet on the floor. Now, I happen to have bare feet. That's just the way I operate, but it is perfectly fine if you are wearing your shoes or your socks, whatever is comfortable for you in your current situation, right? All right, so let's sit tall. I want you to sort of wiggle around a little bit and see if you can find your sitting bones, right? These are two bony places in the bottom of our pelvis, right? That give us a sense of our seat, right? And help us to lift up the rest of our spine nice and tall when we find those sitting bones, all right? So get aware of those sitting bones on your chair. See if you can notice the contact of your feet with the floor. Wherever your hands are resting, probably on your lap or on your thighs, go ahead and feel the contact of your hands on your skin or your fabric of your pants. All right, draw your shoulders a little bit back, and I'm going to give you the option here to close your eyes. You don't have to, but if we close our eyes, that's just one way we can turn our attention and our senses more internally. And then once you turn those senses internally, I want you to see if you can start to pick up the rise and fall of your breathing. All right. So deepen your breath a little bit. So you might take just a slightly deeper breath so you can feel your chest or your belly move. We're going to do a little bit of a breath practice here in a moment. It's just a breath technique that'll just alter the way you're breathing, which can be a good way for you to sense your breath more and just to sort of see what your breath capacity is like and what it feels like to try to change your breath pattern. All right. So this breath practice is going to be a simplified 3-part breath. And we're going to do 3 parts on the inhalation, kind of breathing in a third, a third, a third, and then letting it all out. All right. Now, as we take those 3 parts to the inhale, you do not have to try and breathe as fully or as big as possible. You could, but it's not a requirement. You could keep it very comfortable and just see what it's like to pause 2 times within the breath. All right. And then the exhale is going to be through the mouth, kind of a letting it all go. All right. Now, if you want to, you can do some arm movements with those 3 parts to the inhale. Here's what it'll look like. Join me when you're ready. All right. 3 parts to the inhale. I'm going to do it 2 more times. One more. All right, just pause and see what you notice. What's your breath feel like now? Are you more aware of the movement? Does your overall breath feel like it's a little bit bigger or maybe a little bit shallower? We're going to do that practice another round, right? So remember, you've got choices. I'm always giving you choices, right? So you can choose, again, to keep your breath just a comfortable depth and just try to break it into 3 parts. Or you could try to push that breath volume a little bit if you want to, taking a fuller breath or really stretching your lung capacity. So we're going to do 5 rounds of breath, 3 parts to the inhale, exhale out of the mouth. Here we go. Two more, but you can stop anytime you want. All right, good job. Now, that breath tends to be a little bit energizing, right? That sort of expanding the inhale there, doing that sighing exhale tends to make us feel a little, a little more alert or a little buzzy. Maybe even you get a little tingle somewhere in your fingertips or your face from doing that kind of breathing. And so that helps us lead into our movement practice. We'll do a breath practice that's a little more relaxing at the end. All right, let's loosen things up. Let's start with the head, turning right and left. All your movements should be comfortable to you, right? That doesn't mean that there won't be sensation. You might feel stretch, you might feel soreness. I advise you to stay away from anything that's painful, but it's always your choice as far as, how big you make your movements, when you rest, that sort of thing. All right, chin down towards the chest and then chin up, just so we get a little nodding motion for the neck as well. All right, next time that chin is down, leave it down and roll that head in a semicircle up towards one shoulder, across the front, up toward the other shoulder, and back across. And just go side to side. Again, we want this to, give us some stretching, some mobilization in the neck and the upper back and shoulder muscles there. All right, next time that chin is forward to the chest, pause, lift the head up. Let's move up down to the shoulders and the shoulder blades. Rolling those shoulders, bring them forward up towards your ears, pull them back and drop them down. And you may notice as you make this movement, especially if you slow it down and try to make it a little bit bigger, that there's some movement of your rib cage and your spine, your trunk as well. And that's good. We want that. We want to loosen that up. So if it feels comfortable to you to get a little, more movement going in your body, feel free to make this a little more fluid. All right, now bring those shoulders back, let the arms drop down to your sides. Go ahead and spread out those fingers nice and wide. Give a stretch to the hands and then make a fist. Take that fist and bring it up towards your shoulders. So we bend the elbows and maybe lift those elbows up towards your ears, right? And then bring it down, open up the elbows, open up the hands, reach back, take those fingers back, flexing at the wrist again. And then let's do it again. Make that fist, bring it forward, maybe lift the elbows up, and then release it down, open up, reach back. Again, make that fist, bring it in and up, contracting those muscles and then releasing them and contracting the opposite set of muscles 2 more times. All right, and then shake, shake, shake it out. Fingers shake, hands shake, elbows, and even shoulders and head. All right, now let's take the movement of the arms more out to the side. Reach up, and then take one arm down and take a little side stretch. Now, if your hand overhead isn't so comfortable on your shoulder, you could drop it to your head or drop it to your heart, all right? And back to center. Again, that arm reach overhead is optional. Take it to a side stretch on the other side. We want to get the trunk moving. All right, we want to get the side body lengthening. All right, let's do a couple more times to each side. Good, one more to each side. And then bring it back to center. All right, now let's move it down a little bit. Remember at the beginning, I had you wiggle or try to find your sitting bones. All right, now we're gonna make some movements like a circle around the seat, around the pelvis, right? So you should sort of rock over onto one sitting bone and then through the back, other sitting bone, through the front. All right, and the whole body comes with, right? So while we're concentrating or calling it a circle of the pelvis, the rest of the spine is coming with us, right? So we're getting some movement for the rest of the spine as well. All right, let's reverse directions. So pause and then take it around the other way. All right, back to center, sit up tall. All right, let's bring the legs to the middle. You feel free to hold on to the chair. That might give you some extra support or just allow you to sort of get a little more rigid, a little more engaged in your trunk. All right, you could also challenge yourself by taking the arms out, right? So that you're not holding on, you don't have that support. All right, so we're kicking one foot out and then the other. Remember, arms out is optional. You might decide you want to let them just rest at your side or hold on to the chair. Now, as I kick, I'm trying to stay up nice and tall. If the hamstrings are tight, the backs of your legs, then it might be hard to get your knee all the way straight without leaning back or rounding back. So it's okay if your knee doesn't get all the way straight, keep that spine up tall instead. All right, let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. All right, and then keep the knee bent, but let's march. Again, same options here. Hold on to the chair or take the arms out for a little more challenge. Keep the spine up nice and tall. Try not to roll back. All right, now hips have more movement available than just this up and down. So let's start to add a lift up and out and then back in. Up and out, and then back to the middle. Making that step as big as feels right for you and your situation, your chair, your body. Good, 4 more. All right, last one. All right, take the arms down if they were up. Let's do just a bit for the foot and ankle before we take some time out of the chair. Point and flex one foot out in front. You could have that heel on the ground if you needed. Give a few circles of that ankle, nice big, slow circles of the foot. Go the other direction. All right, and then rest that foot, take the other leg out, point and flex. And take it through a couple big circles. Go the other way. All right, and then release it. All right, we're gonna come up to a standing position here in just a moment and do some things. You'll have the option to hold on to the chair if you feel you need some extra support. If you feel you can challenge yourself more, there'll be times where I give you the option to let go of the chair. But first, let's make the process of getting up an exercise in and of itself. So walk yourself out to the front of the chair, move your feet back. You can either have your arms out in front, or if you need a little extra support, you might put the hands on your thighs, or if you need more support, you might put your hands on the chair, right? So most challenging is going to be arms out. Lean forward, put that weight in your feet. Try to slowly come up. Rise up as tall as you can, reach overhead if the arms allow, and then try to slowly sit back down. Again, maybe your hands on your thighs or hands on the chair if you need that. Now, if coming all the way up to standing is difficult, then you don't have to do this part over and over again. You can get up and wait. We're going to do it 3 more times if you'd like. Lean forward, make it slow. Super slow is going to challenge all your muscles a little bit more if you want it. Reach up tall, sit down again, super slow. All right, again, feet are pulled back. I lean forward. That helps get the weight over those feet. And then I can push, push, push with the legs. Come all the way up. And then slowly sit back down. Try to land softly. One more time. We're going to stay up. All right, good. All right, so now we're staying up, standing tall. Again, we can use this chair. Sometimes I'll have everyone use it, and sometimes it'll be optional. But go ahead and stand in such a way that you can be sort of behind the chair. That way it's easy to touch the top of the chair as needed for a balance support. All right, so let's go ahead and take right leg back, or one leg, it doesn't really matter which one, and the other leg forward. So we've got a lunge type of step or stance. So sometimes in yoga, this is called the warrior stance, all right? So front knee bent, back knee straight, all right? So your stance could be a different length than mine, longer or shorter. Now, as we stand here, let's see if we can fire up this back buttock muscle, right? Feel free to reach back and touch to see if it's tightening, right? So try and draw that buttock or that sitting bone down towards your thigh. All right, and then look forward. Here's where you have the option to raise one or both arms, right? So keep a touch on the chair if you need it. Warrior one, again, is the position we have here. Now we're going to add a little movement to this. Again, your hands could drop to the chair if you want, or you could pull those elbows back. Hands kind of come beside the head, lean forward, and then reach back up. Bring the chest, the shoulders back over the hips. Lean forward. Again, maybe the hands rest here. Maybe they pull back. Maybe you take one arm through the movement while the other keeps, touch. 2 more. All right. Let those arms drop. Step in. Take a moment just to pause. And then switch sides. Take the other leg back. Find that length of stance that feels good for you. Front knee bent, back knee straight. Squeezing that buttock back there. Check on it. See if it's participating. All right, lift up in the center. Maybe raise one or both arms. Take another breath here. All right, movement is optional. Remember, you can hold on to the chair, lean forward, maybe pull the arms back, maybe touch the chair, reach back up as you come tall. Front knee stays bent the whole time if possible. Try to keep that back buttock muscle active the whole time. 2 more. All right, good. Now step in, Take a pause. Hopefully you felt some work in your legs there. Now this next one, let's all touch the top of the chair. You could also easily do this with your hands on a wall or on a countertop. Walk the feet, the hips back. And we're just trying to lengthen out as far as feels comfortable here. Lengthening through the arms, through the spine, down into the legs. Take a good couple of breaths here. All right, and then bring it back in. All right, now we're going to turn sideways so that we've got one side close to the chair. All right, and then take a long or a wide stance. So I've got my feet out wide, one leg close to the chair. And again, I can hold on the whole time if I need to. All right, now this leg that's further away from the chair, I'm going to turn that leg in a little bit and let the toes and the knee all turn in a bit. That way it'll be easy for me to turn the leg close to the chair to point in that direction. All right, so again, that front leg or the leg close to the chair, I'm going to bend that knee. The other leg, straighten, tighten that buttock. All right, this is called Warrior Two. Now you could raise both arms parallel to the floor, or you could keep a hold on that chair. We're going to do a similar in and out movement if you want to choose to add it. And you've got the same choice to drop the hand to the chair if you want, or to avoid the chair if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more. All right, so I'm going to keep my legs solid, keep the front knee bent, keep the back glute active, and I'm just going to lean towards the chair, towards that front leg, and then come back up. All right, so I could take my hand on the chair, or I could just kind of go over the top of it if my chair bows. Strong legs, two more. All right, now stay back in that Warrior Two. Let's straighten the front knee. So everything else stays the same, but we straighten the front knee. And then let's everybody put that hand down on the chair. The other arm could stay extended, or you could rest it. All right. And then we're going to keep that front knee straight and just lean in. I can lean on the chair, come as far down as I want to. Maybe your chair lets you take your hand down to the seat. And we're looking for some stretch in that inner thigh of that front leg. Again, if you wanted to extend the other arm, you could. We call this triangle pose in yoga. Take another couple breaths, strong legs, reach through those arms. Good. And then come on back up. Turn both toes back to the front and walk the feet together. All right, just pause a moment, see what that sensation is like from that. Now, you can just turn around. I want to keep facing the camera, so I'm going to move my chair and just kind of flip my whole setup. We just want to be on the other side now. All right, so I've got my other leg close to the chair. Step out wide. Turn that leg that's further away a little bit in. Turn the leg close to the chair to point at it, and then bend that knee. All right, so front knee bent, back knee straight. Squeeze that buttock. And find where you want those arms for Warrior Two. Could be both arms up or one hand holding the chair. Good, nice strong legs. Lift through the spine. Here comes that movement we're going to add to this, same as the other side. So taking it down, maybe touching the chair, maybe avoiding it. Back up, tip over, back up. 2 more times. Good, and stay in here, straighten that front knee, and drop the arms, hold on to the chair, lean in over that straight leg, right? So this leg in front straight, so we're getting some stretch, inner thigh, back of the leg. You go as far as feels comfortable for you. Use the support of the chair for this one. Maybe extend that other arm if you want to. Keep breathing. And then let's come on back up. Turn those feet walk the feet together, and just take a moment again, check in with how you feel that work from the legs. All right. Now, before we sit down to kind of wrap things up, I did promise a little relaxation, and we'll make sure to get to that. But let's go ahead and do a more challenging balance pose where we try to balance on one foot. But of course, have the chair and use it as needed. So the balance challenge that's best for you is the one that gives you some wobble, right? It's not what you can hold absolutely steady, because actually that's probably pretty easy for you if you can hold it steady, and you want to challenge your system. So you want to feel your body wobbling, adjusting, but you choose accordingly for some support. So let's put the weight into one leg. We're going to do tree pose. Pick up the other foot a little bit. It could be your toes still touching. It could be the foot all the way up. And we're going to turn that lifted leg out, turning that knee out. All right. And maybe putting that foot on the inside of your ankle or the inside of your calf, or maybe down, even touching the floor. All right. And then you get to decide, can you let go of the chair? Maybe you keep just a fingertip touching. If you find yourself pretty steady without, and you're not holding on at all, well, then you could try to take the arms more extended, or you could change your gaze a little bit. Again, this is not necessary for everyone. Maybe standing on one foot is plenty of challenge. But if you find that you can do a little more, then turning, looking around the space is a way to introduce a little more difficulty. All right, 2 more breaths on this side. And then release. Go ahead and just walk it out a little bit. And then let's take it to the other leg. So put that weight in the other leg, pick up the heel or pick up the whole foot, turn that knee out. Remember, your toes might touch the ground, or they might be up. All right, and then you're deciding whether you're letting go of the chair and what additional challenges you might try and play around with. Arms extending. And it's okay if you're touching and then letting go, and touching and then letting go. It's even okay if you're dropping your foot and coming back in. You're working with your capacity and helping to expand it. 2 more breaths here. All right, and release. All right, we're going to finish by coming back to a seat. So turn that chair and sit back down in it. All right, and just take a moment just to notice how you feel after being up and, moving and, tuning into different parts of your body. Maybe your awareness of, your seat is different. Maybe your sense of your, energy, or even just the temperature you feel in your body is a little bit different. These are all great things to check in with and notice. It's part of the mindfulness of the practice that we're bringing to you. All right, so just give yourself another moment to settle. Start to tune into an awareness of your breath again. If it helps to place your hands on your belly or on your chest, please feel free to do so. If it helps to close your eyes, you can feel free to do that. Now, the breath practice we're going to do here at the end is sort of the reverse of the one we did at the beginning, right? We're going to do a sort of 3 parts to the exhalation, and keep the inhalation just smooth and easy, right? So that all of it will be through the nose if possible, right? So inhale through the nose, just comfortable. And then as you exhale, just try to go 1, 2, 3, with a little short pause after each one. Inhale again. Exhale a bit. And then a bit more. Pause. A bit more, all the way out. Pause. So exhaling slow, even within the parts. A little pause between them to help slow us down even more. Each round a little slower. Keep on going. If you find the 3 parts is hard, simply exhale continuously, but try to keep it slow. Let's do 2 more rounds of breath. All right, and then you can let your hands drop if they were on your belly or your chest. You can open up your eyes if they were closed. Again, we want to thank you for supporting the Mindful Movement series. We are really proud of it, and we hope that we know that so many people benefit from this opportunity to connect to others and to move their bodies. So we thank you for joining us here on Tuesday mornings, and we hope you'll come back next week.
Thank you, Becca. Great session. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We appreciate you tuning into our program. If you have any comments, please let us know. But we certainly do thank you. And everyone, have a great week. See you next time on Mindful Movement.